What is going on, people? Welcome to another episode of the DFC podcast, man. Listen, this is the big one. The man to my far side, Max Shumba. Welcome to the pod.
Thank you for having me, sir. Thank you.
That's all right, man. Just come a bit closer, bro.
Yes.
So, yeah, man. Nah, listen, it's a big one because you are main event for DFC 11. Yeah. You are coming to take everything. That is your aim. That is your goal. Sure. You stand in front of, obviously, the DFC light heavyweight current champion Marlon. This, I said, is going to be a very high-skilled, high-level fight. Within your own right, your accomplishments, which we will go on to shortly, have been nothing short of very impressive. Marlon's accomplishments as well have been unreal. Put this together. Mm-hmm. This has got to surely make for one of, if not the best fights to make at the unlicensed level for light heavyweights.
Oh, 100%. And like I said earlier on, me and Marlon's paths were going to cross at some point. Do you know what I mean? It just happened that it's now. He's got the title. Yeah. He's in the way of my accomplishments. And do you know what I mean? I've got nothing against the guy personally. Yeah. But like, again, do you know when you got a man that's in front of your accomplishments, I've got to put you away.
Yeah, I hear it, man. Listen, I'll talk about some of the major honours that obviously you've won. Multiple titles. Obviously, you fought on Quest. Mm-hmm. Golden Gloves light heavyweight champion. King Cobra super middleweight champion. And then Unorthodox Promotion super middleweight champion. And then obviously you won the two titles at light heavyweight, British and European on Quest as well. Yeah. It's crazy because, like, in terms of your record as well, you're 32-5. Mm-hmm. At the unlicensed level, it's very hard to find, like, I suppose for you, like, when you get to a certain level, is it hard for you to get matched to the correct opponents for the investment that you put into your camps, the time that you put into your camps? Can it be difficult sometimes? So when a fight does come along like this, you kind of like bite the hand off and go I'll have it. Yeah. But for you as well, that journey just to get to there, talk me through it. How did you start and how did you get into boxing? Because where did that journey start for you?
Okay, so I started boxing from when I was about 17. Yeah. Just popping in and out of the gyms. I was a troubled kid. I was out in the streets doing my thing, and I needed something. I needed a little bit of discipline. I needed some role models around me. And, thank God to my mum, like, she was the one, she was kind of like, yeah, you need to go to the boxing gym. You need to let some of this aggression out because, at school I was having problems, constantly getting kicked out, constantly fighting, constantly getting into, like, mix-ups on the streets as well. So I needed to find somewhere where I could kind of channel my anger and channel all my aggression. And, I fell into the gym, went to the gym for a little bit, a couple of years, picked up, the basics, and then came out of the gym. Unfortunately went back into the streets again. And then, you get certain things that kind of just brings things to reality in a sense of, like, it's either you choose this road or you choose that other road. And I chose the road of boxing from around 20 years old, and I never looked back. So, I'm 36 now, and I've been fighting ever since then.
Do you think as well, because I was saying this with Greedy earlier on a previous show we done, like, boxing itself, the discipline. I've always been, and I say this all the time, any form of combat sport should be made mandatory in schools for kids, because I feel like it teaches them discipline, defend themselves. Yep. I think all these things. Obviously, you find out later on in life how much it benefits you being involved in sports or being involved in the boxing gyms like this. But do you share that view that it kind of does make a difference if they could do it earlier in a person's life, be it from age 7, 8, 9?
Oh, do you know what? 100%, man. And that's one of the things I'm championing. So I'm an activist for anti-knife crime. Yeah. And that's something that's really dear to my heart. And I really like to go into schools and speak to kids and try and get them involved in boxing. And, there's a massive difference between a kid that knows how to fight and a kid that think he knows how to fight. Do you know what I mean? So I find it like a lot of the students that I've got that, kind of in the adolescence age, a lot of them would walk away from fights. Nah, bros, I'm not going to do that because I know my capabilities and I know what I can do. So I'd rather walk away from a fight. Where a kid that's never been in a sparring or never been to a boxing gym, he's got something to prove and he wants to be the guy. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like, man, going back to your point, it definitely needs to be introduced more in schools. to install discipline, install confidence, and just strength. Do you know what I mean? I feel like a lot of kids this generation are very, maybe lost for words, weak. I think they spend a lot of time indoors, they spend a lot of time doing things that don't really build their inner strengths mentally and physically, And I feel like boxing is something that can definitely give you all those qualities.
Well, you've seen that recently with yourself. Obviously, you've been involved with boxing, but you've opened, obviously, a gym with Dante Cummins, who I was saying before, I know quite well as well, man.
Shout out Too Smooth.
Yeah, man. We've got to see Dante on DFC soon
I told
as well,
you, man. That boy is a problem, man. Once he comes on there, he's coming through to make some noise, man. And like I said, give all thanks to his coach. Nah, man. Nah, it's all him. It's all him.
So you must, where you're champion at now, you must, the opening your own gym and doing it now, you feel like you're in the best position to do that for people.
Yeah.
But also, talk to me a bit about that. So you're juggling running a gym with training yourself and fighting yourself. Is that difficult?
Do you know what? I've always looked at myself as a fighting coach. Do you know what I mean? So, of course, like I said, I'm not shy of my age. I'm 36 and I'm not going to be doing this forever. So I wanted to kind of put myself in a position where I start setting up my retirement plan as well as still keeping myself, competitive out there. Do you know what I mean? Again, fighting the likes of Marlon, guys that are serious, guys that are going to, really put on good shows. And again, in every fight, you needed the perfect dancing partner. And I feel like right now, I found the perfect dancing partner with Marlon.
Yeah, because they're your name is known in the unlicensed scene. I think a few have called out, but only some have actually followed up, I say.
Facts. Facts.
Marlon is the opponent that stands in front of you, and we will go on to him shortly. But I did want to ask you about a couple of other things as well. Your journey into boxing and stems from, obviously, I suppose, the support you have around you.
Yep.
And an interesting fact about you, a lot of people don't know, is the support that you get from the Zimbabwe FA. In your journey in boxing. And Derek Chisora.
Yeah.
A man who's just signed to fight Deontay Wilder.
Yeah. That's my guy.
Talk to me a little bit about that, because I suppose Derek Chisora is, a massive name in British boxing. How did that relationship come about with you two?
So basically, in Zimbabwe, we were. You can have friends that are almost kind of like family. Do you know what I mean? In that sense. So. Throughout meeting certain people, and they've introduced me to him, or they've spoke about my name to him, and then eventually, someone sent me his number, and then before me and him were on the phone, and before you know it, we're just kind of going back and forth. I wouldn't say we're close, but happy birthday, Merry Christmas, how's the kids, now and again checking in. Do you know what I mean? Can I come through to the camp? Well, obviously I've trained with him a few times, and so that's the relationship, man. He's a really, really cool guy, very straight up. Do you know what I mean? He tells you exactly how it is. If you're in a gym and you're fucking up and you're not doing the right things, he's the type of person that's going to get straight to the point and say, listen, mate, A, B, C, D, get this sorted. Do you know what I mean?
How does that help you as well? Because I suppose going into a camp with Derek Chisora for yourself and to better your abilities, and you're probably from a coaching point of view as well, because you're learning and picking stuff up just from watching, but being around Derek Chisora and probably being around a lot of the pro fighters as well. How much has that kind of helped you over the years, just to both professionally in your in your gym, so you're able to coach people, and your boxing?
I think in terms of like me being a boxer, the confidence that it gives you, do you know what I mean? Just to have someone that's completed it and has done it at such an elite level, looking at you and giving you your flowers, kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? That feels good. And as being a coach, it just kind of shows you like sometimes you don't have to overcomplicate things. Boxing is a very simple thing to, once you understand the mechanics of it. Do you know what I mean? So again, it's always going back to the basics and then really tuning into the basics and understanding the basics. Things like footwork. Do you know what I mean? You could do like maybe 3-4 weeks just based on footwork. Do you know what I mean? And you move on to the next one, defense. You could do 3-4 weeks just based on defense, where everything now is all fast track. Everyone wants everything fast. Do you know what I mean? Everyone wants, nah, bros, I want to already be sparring. I've got clients that I work with, they're like, yo, coach, when are we going to spar? And I'm looking at them like, bros. Do you know what I'm saying? But like at the same time, do you know what I mean? We live in a generation, in a timeline now where everything has got to be instant. People want to cut corners and people want to accomplish things faster than they're learning.
Patience.
Do you know what I'm saying? They don't have the patience.
Yeah.
So again, going back to your point, when you deal with guys like Chisora and these are guys that have learned the old school way of training. Do you know what I mean? So they understand how much time goes into the craft and how much you have to be disciplined and how much you also have to be humble. Do you know what I mean? In understanding of like, yeah, I am a coach. Yes, I have got 15 years of understanding boxing. And maybe I could actually maybe tell him a few things, but it's about just sitting back and being like, yeah, okay, be humble and take it in and just, don't be one of those guys that are, no, I know this, no, you know what I mean? You always got to be willing to learn.
That's I think that's the main thing. I think as well, would you agree that going and working in different gyms, even if it's you're traveling away, I think even recently you posted something up on Instagram where you was doing some training and going out of your comfortable setting to go. Do you pick up different things from different gyms? Is that what you're saying?
100%.
And different styles and different the way you learn, and you're able to kind of merge it to what you feel is comfortable for you. Does that change your perspective on things all the time?
Definitely. Do you know, I feel like you have to travel and then you have to come out of your comfort zone. Do you know what I mean? Because if you stay for instance, if I stayed in Southend, I could be the best boxer in Southend and that's it. Do you know what I mean? But you have to open up the horizon. You have to look at, okay, what other options are out there? Who can I spar? Okay, let me work with this coach. What can I learn from this? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, definitely, man. Traveling and going into other gyms and just having that confidence and stepping in and being like, okay, I'm either here to spar or I'm here to learn. You know what I mean? Minus who your name is or what you've accomplished.
Yeah. In terms of motivations for, you and what you do, what are your biggest motivators? Because I feel like you're doing a lot. Like, you're doing a lot, bro. Like, you're fighting, you're coaching. You seem to be doing it well.
I've got projects in Zimbabwe as well.
That's what I'm saying to you. So we talk about that shortly as well, because I wanted to get onto that. Awesome. But for you, would you say that you sort of family that drives you to do well?
100%. My kids drive me, man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I think personally, growing up, you kind of hit an age when you're like, okay, what's next? And I never wanted that for my kids. Do you know what I mean? I didn't want my kids to finish school and they're looking at me like, oh, Dad, what do I do? Do I go work for a next man? Or do I go, do you know what I mean? I'm like, no, listen, family business. You go into the gym. Do you know what I mean? Or even if you're not going to be a trainer, you can find other ways of, you know what I mean? We need an accountant. We need someone that's going to do the marketing. We need someone that's going to do the reception. We need someone that's going to do even the cleaning. Do you know what I mean? So it's about finding what positions to put your children in within your line of work, you know? And for me personally, that's my biggest drive, man. So I'm my biggest thing is legacy. You know what I mean? I want to leave a legacy out here. Like, once this is over and done with, I can say, we've done something here.
I feel like, I always ask people this: if we're all on borrowed time on this planet, if there is one thing that you'd want people to remember you by, what would it be?
He was a handsome. No, do you know what? I would want him to say he was a kind man. Do you know what I mean? He was a generous man. He was a man that took a lot of time with a lot of people, which I always do. Do you know what I mean? He was an understanding man. He was a man that had morals. He was a man that was focused on his goals, and he was a role model.
Yeah. I think that's proper cool, man. Listen, talk to me a little bit as well, like, because you mentioned your projects in Zimbabwe, obviously. Talk to me a little bit about those, because to add on top of the coaching, the fighting, juggling family life, you've got projects as well. Talk to me a little bit about that.
So I've got a team. It's called Team Shumba Foundation in Zimbabwe. That's where I'm originally from. Yeah. And so I've got a boxing gym out there as well called Shumba Boxing Academy. Yeah. I've got a few amateurs that I work with. We've just signed 2 professional fighters. One of them is fighting for the Zimbabwean. I think it's the middleweight title or the regional title or something like that. And man, I've always wanted to give back. And what more can I give back to the people that need it more? Do you know what I mean? I know it's got a lot of moving parts with it, and you have to build a lot of trust, and you have to try and understand that no one is in the same circumstances as you're in. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So sometimes something like a tenner to someone could be like, wow. But for you, you're like, mate, I was banging that on a, do you know what I mean? On a bit of food or whatever, but for them it's like, mate, this is what I've got for a week, or this is what, do you know what I mean? So I'm dealing with some of my fighters and, you know, I'm having to buy them bikes. I'm having to, you know, so every 3 months I try to send out gloves out there. I try to send out, you know, also, so if any gyms or any boxers want to donate any gloves or any boots or anything like that to my gym, listen, I will be more than welcome to take some of that stuff off your hands.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you know, I've always wanted to give stuff because for them, mate, it goes a long way. And for us, 100%. You know, it's something that's so easily accessible.
I think when you look at some of the countries, sorry, just come forward a bit.
Yeah, go on.
I think when you look at some of the positions that people are in, and we are maybe more fortunate, and some people overlook in life, especially in this country, the basics that we have are not the basics in other countries.
Oh, mate, even little things like electricity. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we take so many things for granted. You know, some of the, mate, if some of the stories that I hear out there from some of my fighters, you know what I mean, you feel bad. Do you know what I mean? Like someone's going through camp, some days they don't have food. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's like, mate, this guy is going in for a big fight, but he hasn't ate for about 2 days.
It's crazy, isn't it? And you talk about now, it's like, and when you look at the state of boxing in this country and the way that people train, you go to a nutritionist and go, I've trained and haven't eaten for 2 days. He's going to go, what are you doing?
Do you know what I'm saying?
So why wouldn't it be any different for them?
Also, mate, if you go to anyone and say that I've been eating in 2 days, it's a madness. Do you know what I'm saying?
So like, and then you're training on top of it.
Let alone being an athlete, let alone training under the circumstances that they're trained.
Yeah,
so
your
they
body
don't have
burns energy.
So they don't have the machines that we have access to, so they have to make do with certain things.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, you know, you might have like a guy that's like, I don't know, maybe 60 kilos, but he's having to, I don't know, maybe deadlift something like 150 or 160 just because that's all that's there. Do you know what I'm saying? Or maybe like the bars are made out of like cement blocks, and do you know what I mean? So like they're having to just work with what they have. So now when we talk about things like injuries, when we talk about things like, you know, being in the mindset where maybe he can't push that, he knows he can't push it, but what does that do to an athlete then? Do you know what I mean?
100%.
So yeah, man, I just try to take the pressure off a little bit, you know. And also shout out to my partner out there. His name is Wesley McDade. He's the guy that's on the ground who puts in most of the work. Do you know what I mean?
Sick.
So massive shout out to him. And Denver as well, our trainer.
So I feel like when you fight or when you fought, and obviously we go on to talk about the fight that you're involved in on the 29th of March shortly. But do you feel like you've got kind of going into fights a lot over on your shoulders? Just you feel like a duty and a responsibility to people around you? Does that kind of, you know, some pressure's good, not all pressure's bad. Yeah. But is that a pressure that pushes you to always do well?
Oh, for sure, man. Like I said to you, legacy. Do you know what I mean? That's always going to be on my forefront. Do you know what I mean? So when I'm training, I make sure I leave no stone left unturned. So when I get in there, okay, fair enough, you know, this is boxing. You win some, you lose some. Do you know what I mean? So even if, let's say, for instance, you do lose, you want to lose and say, okay, but I've done everything that I absolutely could have. Do you know what I mean? It just wasn't my day. Do you know what I mean? I'm a big believer in the universe. I feel like, you know, when it's your time, it's your time. Like certain times like this, I had to go through my fight with Cornet to get to this situation. Now I've got a different fuel. I've got a different thing that's running it within me. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, man, taking that L again, that's not going to happen. So
no. And speaking a little bit, obviously you fight Marlon Gillett for the light heavyweight title on DFC on the 29th. This is going to be a massive fight. Yeah. How are you feeling ahead? I mean, we kind of asked how your training is, but that fight itself, obviously Marlon stands in front of you, who is another guy that not a lot of people want to fight, and when they do fight, they lose. You know, he's never been knocked out. He's transferred over from K1 to boxing, an unconventional kind of, I suppose K1 fighters are awkward to fight, which is why I think they have a lot of success in boxing, because they do they have different techniques and different things to a conventional boxer. But for you, looking at this fight with Marlon now, let's get down to business, man.
Let's go.
How are you feeling ahead of this? I mean, like, this is a massive fight. Just talk to me a little bit, because you know Marlon.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, like, I think he knows me too. Yeah. So we both have been watching each other from afar. Do you know what I mean? We've got, there's no bad blood between us. Do you know what I mean? That's why, again, the build up to this is going to be respectful. Do you know what I mean? We're just here to do the business. Do you know what I mean? He's a father, I'm a father. I'm sure we don't want to be going effing and blinding. Do you know what I mean? For our kids to see things like that. So
that's a good example.
Do you know what I mean? So we want to lead by example and be good role models. And I can see that within him as well. He's a very respectful guy. But again, like I said, man, he's just another man that's in front of my goals. So how I'm feeling going towards this fight, I feel very confident. I've got a new trainer with me. Do you know what I mean? I've got a trainer called Danny Green, Lee Boxing Academy. Heaps of knowledge when it comes down to boxing, and when it comes down to my sparring as well. You know what I mean? The connections and the contacts that he's got. Yeah, man. We yeah, we're gonna do a job.
Ready, yeah.
And another thing as well, you might not know is Marlon actually fought one of my old training partners. His name is Yves Brusello on the K1 on MTGP like a few years ago. And then this guy has been my main sparring partner for about 10 years. And the wars that me and him have had, and then the way he put Marlon away, this is why I'm very confident that I can do the job on him. I get it. Listen, people grow and people learn new tricks and do you know what I mean? But when it comes down to the real nitty gritty and the basics of the fighting, when it starts getting into the 4th round, early on into the 5th round, that's when we're gonna find out who's really got the minerals.
Would you say though that obviously K1 and boxing, 2 different disciplines, isn't it?
Yeah.
So would you say that there's still a massive amount, like you say, your training partner fought him in K1?
Yeah.
And as you say, people grow as well. But with the K1 and the boxing, would you say that the disciplines cross, so you have to alternate some things? Like, would you be doing stuff, I'd imagine, with your sparring partner now to mimic maybe what Marlon could offer? We're not going to go into it too much.
No. For sure, man. Again, like a lot of the sparring partners that I've been working with, it's all been tailored towards me. You know what I mean? And then big shout out to my coach. Do you know what I mean? He's someone that understands me and he understands my style and he knows what I need and what I don't need. Do you know what I mean? So when, I'm fighting guys that fight for Repton, I've been sparring a lot of pros as well, guys like Elliot Elimasi. Do you know what I mean? I had a few rounds with Jordan Thompson, huge guy. Do you know what I'm saying?
Serious,
So it's good to get that level of work, competitive rounds. But like again, when we go into like smaller gyms, it's all tailored towards me. So we get guys to mimic Marlon's style. Do you know what I'm saying? And then we're doubling over on the time that we're working as well. Do you know what I mean? I know it's 5 rounds, but we're doing 10 rounds. Do you know what I mean? I know it's 2-minute rounds, we're doing 3-minute rounds. Do you know what I mean? Just to make sure everything is polished and it's ready. And then me going into, because I haven't even started camp now. Do you know what I mean? But I'll start camping, I'll say next week or the week after. But in my head, I'm already in there. Do you know what I'm saying? So again, you don't want to peak too early, but like at the same time, I know the magnitude of this fight and I know the trajectory that this fight is going to take me. So I'm not taking this lightly. And I know also Marlon's capabilities and I know what he's been doing. Do you know what I mean? But I'm not the one.
What makes you say you're not the one?
Yeah, I'm not the one for him to fuck with.
Leading on from that, like what makes you think, or what makes you so confident that you can beat Marlon come the 29th?
I feel like my style is made for Marlon.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like I like to hit and move, do you know what I mean? Stick and move, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where he likes to kind of stand there and trade. Do you know what I mean? Where, we just won't be allowing certain things like that to happen. And also my skills within boxing, when you understand boxing IQ, he's come from K1. So a lot of that comes from like being really square as well as putting himself in a position where he can kick or he can knee and things like that. And I've seen a little, and I can see he's still got that in him. And I'm going to exploit that and expose that.
So you've kind of had quite a bit of footage recently to watch, I suppose, off of Marlon. Do you watch a lot? Do you analyze a lot of your fighters through videos or not?
No, do you know what? That's not my job. I've been in this game for long enough to understand. Like, I know what my capabilities are. Yeah. I leave that to my coach. Yeah. You know what I mean? Coach, you tell me what I need to do. I turn up every day. I don't want to be sitting there and watching the interviews and watching his fights and do you know what I mean? Building it up in my. No, I haven't got time for that. I've got things. I need to focus on what I'm going to do, and I know my capabilities and my skills are far greater than his.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. I mean, we spoke about obviously how you become aware of Marlon, and I think that was through just mutually kind of knowing each other from a distance, right?
Yeah.
Have you been impressed by his journey since transitioning into boxing, or do you not really think much of it?
Do you know what? I think when he got my attention is when he knocked out Julio.
Okay.
I was like, because I like Julio. He's a good friend of mine. Do you know what I mean? So, I was like, okay then. Yeah, you're on my radar now, man. Let's see what's going on. And I think we've spoke before. We was meant to. This fight was supposed to happen a few times. It just happened like I was booked for another fight or I was signed to another promotion and I couldn't really swap. Do you know what I mean? Move over or anything like that. But like when the opportunity for this to come through, boom, let's go. Yeah, man.
Because yeah, I mean, like for you, that must have been a difficult situation to be in, where being signed to a different promotion, you're kind of at bounds to take the fights that they want you to take, but then there's fights that you want to take. Did you find conflict there?
No, do you know what? I didn't. It was just I was focused on another opponent. Like I said to you, me and Cornet, we had the trilogy, so that was something that was still kind of on my mind. And I like to take one fight at a time. I don't like to think too far ahead. But at the same time, I do like to see who my peers are and how my peers are progressing within their own leagues and who they're fighting and what, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also how they're performing. Because you can get guys that can go in there and, you know what I mean, every time it's 6 rounds or whatever, do you know what I mean? Like, how are you really carrying yourselves throughout these fights? What are you doing when you're being tested? Do you know what I mean? And those are the things that I like to kind of like zone in on.
Interesting. It's interesting, man. And come 29th of March, you're going to be at DFC. For your family, friends, people that are going to be watching, do you? And I ask fighters this question because some will say that when they get to the event, it doesn't bother them, it doesn't affect them. But do you feel as if what I'm trying to say is, do you feel as if, do you feed off the fans in the crowd, or when you get in the ring, is it tunnel vision and you kind of block out that noise, even if it's for you? Does that side of it affect you, the atmosphere?
Do you know what? I've been in this game for so long. I've had times where you've been the away fighter. And I've been in times where I've had the whole crowd like chanting my name. Do you know what I'm saying? So going back to your question, I like to just tunnel vision in, man. Do you know what I mean? Like I like to just focus. Once I get into the ring, I don't hear nothing, I don't see nothing. It's just the man in front of me. Yeah,
that's it, man. And come the 29th of March, do you, the support that you're getting, I mean, message for your friends, family, people coming to watch, because some people will be watching this and this is the last bit of footage that they're going to see before you go to a camp.
Okay.
You know, well, from DFC's perspective, and you'll have your bits coming out, but I'm sure once you get into a camp, is your mentality lock in and 100%. Kind of the other stuff gets put to the side? Because I think in today's day and age with social media, it can be so easy to become distracted by things. Is that something that you can easily switch off when you're training?
Oh, for sure. Like I said to you, man, like I've been in this game for a long time before social media got to where it is now. So I understand, trying to sell tickets without social media. And now I understand how easy it is to sell tickets with social media. Do you know what I mean? And also understanding, having people on your team that delegating them to take the pressures off you. Do you know what I mean? Things like cooking, things like even stuff like washing my clothes. And do you know what I mean? For that time that I'm in camp, I like to bring in people to just take off the pressure, because the last thing I want to be thinking and getting frustrated over is where's my socks? Do you know what I mean? I just need stuff in place. Do you know what I mean? And I'm very lucky and very grateful to have a family that supports my dreams and they support everything that I'm trying to accomplish out here. So they it's for a bigger purpose and it's for a bigger picture. And then when it comes down to a fight like, Marmac, they're calling it, this is the one. Do you know what I mean? This is the one. This is everything that I've been working towards has funneled up to this point here against a great opponent. They're calling him the number one in the country. So once I put him away, I'm the number one in the country. Do you know what I mean? So that's a good accomplishment to have on my post. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just grateful to have a family that really supports me and understands exactly what I'm trying to accomplish out here, and they see it too.
You were, I mean, the video, the quote that stands out from you is the video that I saw when you said, whoever the number one is in the country, I want him. Yeah. I want him. Yeah. I want him. Yeah. Do you honestly believe that this fight is your biggest, is this your biggest fight to date?
Yeah. I'll definitely say this is my biggest fight to date. Marlon is a very smart operator. I'm not taking anything away from him. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, I understand he's a man that also has got his own accomplishments, and I'm sure I'm probably like an obstacle in his way. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So those are things that I massively take into consideration, and I'm never stupid enough to feel, I'm the best, and I'm gonna no. I understand that once I beat the man, then I'm the best. Do you know what I mean? But now until then, there's reasonable doubt. Do you know what I mean? I need to kind of prove myself.
Yeah. And a message to if you look into that camera there, a message to anyone that's looking to buy tickets or come and watch you fight and just support for you really for the 29th.
Okay. What's going on, guys? Listen, I appreciate anyone that's going to be coming out to support me and support Marlon as well. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. This is going to be a big show. This is going to be a chance for me and Marlon to put on a fantastic show. I believe probably this is the best dancing partner that I've had. And I feel like that's probably the same thing for him as well. Do you know what I mean? When we look at like the accolades as well, numbers don't lie. So make sure you get your tickets, ringside if you can. Let's go.
That's it, man. And listen, look, it wouldn't be a boxing podcast if I didn't ask you before I go, and before we go and leave the viewers. You've obviously had a long-standing career in boxing, from fighting and coaching. Who were the professional fighters that you kind of admired from a distance or afar? Who were your favourite fighters?
Okay.
If you could give me 3 or 4.
Oh, facts, yeah. So my favourite fighter, number 1, Thomas Hearns.
Okay.
Yeah. Number 2, Marvis Hagler.
Yeah.
Number 3, Sugar Shane Robinson. Yeah, I want to say Sugar Shane Robinson. Number 4, I'm going to go with my big bro, Chisora.
Yeah.
Number 5, Pernell Whitaker.
Interesting, man. That's a solid vibe, to be fair. Nah, bro. I honestly, this is going to be a massive fight. I think it's going to send a massive statement to the unlicensed scene for light heavyweight boxing. This is Bivol and Beterbiev.
Oh, facts. Let's go.
This is Bivol and Beterbiev.
Yeah. Which was Bivol and which was...
I'm going to say, you know what? We'll let the viewers decide which one's Bivol, which one's Beterbiev.
Yeah, guys. Once this pops up, in the comments, let's go. Who do you think is Bivol and who do you think is Beterbiev?
But listen, look, thank you very much for coming on the pod. Before we go, where can people find you and anything you want to shout out and promote for yourself, obviously, because I can imagine you've got sponsors and that sort of thing as well. Anything you want to shout out, and where can people find and follow you? Okay, so you can find me on Instagram, Team Shumba, Facebook, Mac Shumba Pemiwa, TikTok, Team Shumba 1. I want to give a special shout out to my team, my coach, Danny Green from Lee Boxing Academy, my boys, Dante Cummings, Too Smooth, who's going to be on the show soon, my boy, Wild Bill, my guy, Jordan, Sarush, my team that's over in Zimbabwe, Nyasha, my boys, Wesley McDade, our trainer as well, Denver. A special shout out to my kids as well, Shanice, Christian, MJ, Zara. Special shout out to my nephew as well, Tyler, my niece, Matilda, my sister, Tendai, and my mum. I love you guys, and I do this stuff for you guys. Do you know what I mean? So guys, listen, it is going to be fireworks. Make sure you do not miss out. Yeah, that's it, man. Oh, wow. That was probably better than the outro I'll ever do. No, listen, look, don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the podcast. Official DFC _ for Instagram. DFC season for YouTube. Tickets are available. You can get them via the fighters. Yep. And obviously, anyone externally, you can get in touch with DFC, official DFC _ we can put you in the right direction to get hold of tickets. We do sell tickets on the door as well on fight night. For those that leave it really late, which I'm sure fighters love when they leave it late, because I'm sure the fighters will not be delivering them 2 days before. But listen, look, it's an event you cannot miss. It's a massive stack card. We've got 20 fights announced on this card. Wow. We've got boxing, we've got K1, and we've got Muay Thai fight on there as well. Okay. There is a lot for you guys to see. Balling, Maidstone in Kent. Don't miss it. Just don't watch it online. Come and watch it. You gotta be there. You gotta be there, man. You gotta feel the atmosphere. You gotta feel the aura. You gotta see me put this guy away, man. A lot of people have been talking smack. Yo, Marlon, I'm coming for you, baby boy. Let's go. And that's it, man. And I think we're gonna end it on that one, bro. Thank you very much for coming on. Thank you very much for having me, my guy. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. Appreciate it. Take care, guys. We'll see you again soon. Peace.